Welcome to another edition of the WhoIs podcast. Myself, Quicksilva, of course, is being brought to you today by Red Bull. It gives you wings. But right now, man, this guy right here is responsible for a lot of things that we're going to talk about today. And I'm talking none other than the Diamond K is here, ladies and gentlemen. Diamond K is here, ladies and gentlemen. Diamond K, Diamond K, Diamond K, Diamond K, Diamond K, Diamond K. Is that a good intro?
Absolutely.
Thank you,
I appreciate that.
Hey, we have so much that we can start with, but I always love to start with the same question. For anybody that's watching or listening that's never ever heard of you, never saw you, they have no idea who you are. If I'd ask you, who is Diamond K?
Diamond K is a media personality.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a DJ. I'm a producer. I'm a rapper. I'm a political analyst. Well,
and this has been like what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say elephant in the room. This has been the conversation that causes the most controversy on this podcast. He is also one of the people, and I'm not going to say founder, but he's one of the pioneers. Is that a good word to use? Of Baltimore Club music.
oh wow.
Is that a good word to use?
Yeah, you can do that. You can say that.
You weren't the first.
I wasn't the first. I was there in the early days.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely wasn't the first.
Gotcha.
I've heard a lot of conversation
about
first.
We'll get to that because I know that that's the room shaker. Whenever we talk about first, and that's when everybody the timelines get confused. But I like to paint the picture anytime I talk to anybody. I've known you for decades now,
Definitely.
And when I first met Diamond K, remind me, did I first meet you? I want to say this was. I started Indigo, so this was Trilogies days.
Yeah.
It was Trilogies first, then the break room, then the tunnel. But when we met, it was a club on Utah. Is that Utah Street?
That's Utah. Yeah.
Utah and Saratoga.
Saratoga, and Marlboro.
Right in the middle.
Right.
But called Trilogies that I played at on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this group of DJs that mixed on the first level. And DJ Diamond K happened to be one of them.
That's exactly how we met. Yeah.
Do you remember the first time we played together at Trilogies?
I do. And so I knew of you at that time. We hadn't met.
Right.
But you were at Indigo.
Yes, before
Trilogies. And so initially it's my crew, Unique, L, Kenny, but Kenny wasn't really there.
Right.
But yeah, so Slim Butler.
Yeah.
For those that remember Slim Butler.
Shout out to Slim Butler, the super OG.
Yeah, Slim Butler says we bring Quicksilva in here. The kid? You bring the kid in? No, we don't need the kid. You know what I mean? No,
I was 15.
We need him in here, whatever. And so I met you, and so it was cool. We was good.
So just so I know, so y'all were already at Trilogies before me.
Yes, that is true. I didn't know that. So we were there before. We were on the first floor, but what it was is that, and that was a big spot.
Humongous.
So we were bringing enough people for the first floor. However, Slim Butler wants money, and he said, look, Quick is going to be able to open up the second floor and bring more people. And so that's what it was. And so you came, and so we would start on the first floor.
I remember.
And then you would come, towards midnight and open up the second floor. It's a bum rush of people. So we on both floors at that point, and we was rolling Saturday nights.
When you met me back then, did you have any idea that 30 plus years later we would be here?
No, I couldn't even conceive 30 years. Yeah, I could. No. So definitely not.
Right.
But then a part of me, and I think a lot of us took for granted that time period, because a part of me just felt like it's going to always be like this.
And this is like 96.
Yes, 96.
Yeah.
96.
Mm-hmm. And I can remember being at Trilogies and watching yourself, watching DJ Unique, and this is when Big L, before he was Super DJ Big L, he was just starting as well.
Yeah.
And I knew them from being dancers.
Right.
So they were called the Horsemen.
Right.
The Horsemen, and it was Big L, I can't remember, Cookie Man. Nigga Say What, BJ, Love Jones.
Yep.
I can't remember all of them.
Frankie West. Yep.
So were you a part of the Horsemen?
So Yes and no. Okay, so the Horsemen. I haven't talked about this in a long time. All right, so the time period you're talking about, I got my label running. We dropping a lot of records. And he had an artist, Big Rhea, who did "Hey You Knuckleheads."
Hey, you knuckleheads!
So in '96 is when we dropped that record. But she's not really a recording artist per se, and so she would be nervous and she would be shy. The Horsemen were just a group of guys that would be at the record store with me, and then we would go to the clubs, and they would come to the clubs with me.
Nice.
And they would be in the club dancing. So this is Hammerjacks, this is Paradox, this is we talking about break room trilogies, and they would just be in the club dancing.
Gotcha.
So they danced, they were dressed alike, doing the same steps. Of course, that gets girls, brings hate. And we did a show. We did the first show that Big Rhea did was at Hammerjacks on a Sunday night, and I knew that she was nervous. I knew that I needed to incorporate something else. So we brought the guys on the stage. They weren't even the Horsemen at this point. It was just, I want y'all to come on the stage, do a little dancing, hype up the crowd, and that's going to, build up to bringing her to do Hey You Knuckleheads. They did that. And the footage is on YouTube. You can see that performance. But it really, I saw something and I said, I need to make a record for them. They need a record. And the record that we made was called We Boys. Right, so that's he cool.
That's my nook.
Hey yo, we boys, right?
Hey
so,
yo, what's up with the? I don't know.
Right,
that's funny as shit.
Yeah, so
I remember playing that record.
Yeah, and it was cool. And so that record, We Boys, was supposed to be me and Kenny B. were supposed to do that record, and we were going to do that record. But after I saw the reaction, the Horsemen, which wasn't called the Horsemen, it was just
the guys from
the club, right? And then, but they got such a big reaction. I said we should give them this record, and all of us like wrestling. Like we were just talking off camera about wrestling. The Horsemen is after the wrestling group, the Horsemen, the Four Horsemen, and so that's where it comes from. But initially, it was just backing up Rhea as dancers, and then we dropped We Boys, and then we bowed it. And
who was there on the hook of saying that? That's my nut. Oh, yo, We Boys.
So all of them said one thing, right? So, hey, yo, what's up with them? That's unique. Okay.
Oh wow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's I don't know?
I don't know is.
You don't know.
E. No, that's E. Yeah. Yeah. No, he says, "Oh, you cool." Yeah. We Boys is Cookie Man. Yeah. So it's just they all. So Dookie Man did the track.
Rest in peace, Dookie Man.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Dookie Man. So we recorded that record in Dookie Man's house, in his bedroom, in Milford Mill. Right. So everybody did one chant, chopped it up, and then that became that record.
So a record you mentioned that I want to kind of stay at for a second is Hey You Knuckleheads.
Okay.
Hey You Knuckleheads. Did you write that record?
No.
Rhea wrote that herself?
No.
Who wrote
DJ Mickey wrote the record.
Shout out to DJ Mickey.
So it's a whole story behind that.
So give me a story behind Hey You Knuckleheads.
So Hey You Knuckleheads, but see, Hey You Knuckleheads is still connected to Are You the Bomb in a way.
Well, let's stay with Hey You Knuckleheads.
Hey You Knuckleheads. Okay, so Hey You Knuckleheads all came about. I got to go back to the record store. So most of my stuff is connected to the record store in Westview Mall.
Somebody who knows what's the
Electronics and More in Westview Mall.
That's where I think I definitely shop there.
Yeah, and so DJs came there. I ran my label out of that store as well because I spent so much time there. And so I'm always making records, coming up with concepts, that kind of thing. DJ Mickey came to me with an answer to Are You the Bomb?
Gotcha.
So Are You the Bomb is a record that I did with Foe. Foe and I weren't in a good place at that time.
Gotcha.
We did a record and we didn't have a contract. I didn't know that the record was going to blow up. And, the record blows up and it's like, I got to get him under contract. Right? He doesn't want to sign the contract. Now the record is everybody's playing the record's played on the radio, it's blown up, right? But behind the scenes, we not on the same page.
I get it.
But whatever. You fast forward, we not speaking, this is a whole bunch of drama, and I'm in my feelings. And Mickey knew me and Mickey were friends. Mickey came to me like, yo, I got this idea. I know you and Foe not on good terms. I got this girl that did a song dissing him. And I'm like, yes, let's do it.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna get it done. So Rhea wasn't an artist, but she's a friend of his family. He played their demo for me, and they used my beat from Are You the Bomb, but she's dissing Foe.
Gotcha.
We go in to record the song, and I'm like, okay, we gotta have something else. So I can't just have this. And what else came was Hey You Knuckleheads. So Hey You Knuckleheads is the B-side of a record dissing Foe. Which is called Am I a Bomb? And so, I'm the only person that's mad. The answer to Are You the Bomb didn't work.
Well, so I never even heard that.
The answer to Are You the Bomb didn't work.
Never
you
heard
had
that
the record, but nobody played that. Everybody played Hey You Knuckleheads.
That's funny.
And so, but the thing about Hey You Knuckleheads is that it was short. He had an idea. It wasn't called Hey You Knuckleheads. It was more like a skit almost because it was short. Mm-hmm. It didn't have the hook. It didn't repeat. It didn't have the stuff that she said at the end. It was a good idea. We went in the studio, and I banged out the drum pattern, and she did right. And I remember in the studio, the engineer Jay Funk was the engineer. He engineered a lot of my early records, and so we recorded a song. He was like, "You don't want to add nothing else to it?" I'm like, "No, don't add nothing else to it. We're gonna keep it like this." I'm like, "DJs are going to love this." Mm-hmm. And so if you listen to the song at the end, there's like some crowd response type of stuff, and so I've been doing the crowd response. So she's like, "Say my ladies." Mm-hmm. I do the ladies part with her, and my assistant was in there too. And then we did the guys part, straight like that. They did make my voice like that. Right. And then do my voice high for the girls part. So it worked. I knew it was something. And it just worked.
Hey You Knuckleheads is arguably still one of the most recognizable records. Even when I'm doing sets and I'm not playing club music, mm-hmm. There's certain records, I'm gonna play Pick 'Em Up. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna play Watch Out for the Big Girl. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna play Hey You Knuckleheads. Yeah. Like it's become one of those classic records that people who say I don't like club music, you still love Hey You Knuckleheads. And it became a thing that we used to joke on the radio, you from Baltimore, you can say all the streets. So you couldn't say the streets.
I've heard that.
You from the county.
I used to get a lot of flack from that record. Right?
You say certain neighborhoods.
Yeah, so like some of my friends in the streets was like, "Yo, you making the spot hot. Like, what you shouting out, these different places for?" And I'm like, look, I didn't invent it. People already knew. Yeah, people already knew. These are the places that we would shout out in the club, but also just popular areas around the city.
But I never thought about that until you just said it, because right now, if I'm slinging on the corner of North and Long, right, and I'm telling you North and Long, so now if I'm a police, I got some flack for that. Let me write this down. So let me write down North and Long, Poplar Grove, Murphy Homes, EA. So we're gonna visit all these spots and see what they're doing. Why are they shouting these neighborhoods out? So it makes sense now. If I'm a D-boy, take my name out that shit.
They definitely. We used to do shows for Hey You Knuckleheads. So we would, do shows for Hey You Knuckleheads and perform. The reaction from the crowd would be so intense. Rhea would forget some of the streets, but the crowd is saying with her, so she can jump back in and say it's one of those records. I did not expect the record to really do what it did. I always, when I'm creating songs, I think, okay, this is the shore. This is going to be the shore hit. Mm-hmm. This is going to be it's going to take some time for them to grow to it type of thing. And I always do it like that. But, Hey You Knuckleheads, one of those songs. And so we made that in 1996.
Wow.
Recorded that on a Saturday night, 1996. And
the rest is history.
I'm
praying nobody watched this, actually got arrested behind their neighborhood again.
I hope not.
Because they're going to hate this episode. I'm punching out Diamond K's on it. Punch out. Boycott the Quicksilva. Who is podcast? No, joking. But let's just stay in this time frame, because another record you mentioned, in past just now was Are You the Bomb? Mm-hmm. Which a lot of people, are you the bomb? What? Are you the bomb? Excuse me? Are you the bomb? Oh, yeah. Then blow up, blow, girl. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Take me behind you being in the studio making that record.
So that was a fun record to create. So that record actually goes back. I don't know if you remember a song, we were talking about it on the way here, Stretch Marks. Do you remember the song called Stretch Marks? Yeah. So Foe did this song called Stretch Marks. And so this is at a time when, again, going back to the beginning. When I first started, I started with Frank Ski. Frank Ski ended up dropping me from the label. Okay.
Damn you, Frank, Mr.
No,
Ski.
no. It was the best thing to happen. It was the best thing to happen. So I started trying to find my own way. And I guess I was a knucklehead. I didn't want to listen. And I started doing my own thing. And so I started doing breakbeat records first. You know, back in the day, we said breakbeat records, acapellas, some beats with DJs, different tools like that. Started doing that. Fo had this record called Stretch Marks. I wanted to remix the record. And I said, yo, let me remix the record? And he said, no, you can't remix the record. And so it was just kind of like, I don't own the record. You know, let's make something new. All right, cool. We make something new. What we made was Are You the Bomb? And so it was, you know, that was another record where it came about. J Funk was the engineer, recorded that song. He was dating a Spanish girl. So he always, every time he was around, he got like 3 Spanish girls with him. And so it was just,
Mamacita.
Yeah, that kind of, right. These like Spanish girls, right? So it's just like, it was the strangest thing. So they're in the studio while we record Are You the Bomb? So we're recording Are You the Bomb? I bang out the beat. He does the hook, you know, the words. And I'm just like, this is not what people are playing. People are not going to, you know, so I said, I'm not going to give no instrumental because if I give an instrumental, they're going to play the instrumental. They're never going to play the vocal.
Smart
yeah.
man.
So I said, I'm going to make them play this record. And Spanish girls is in there. They singing some little stuff. Yeah. That wasn't on the record at first. Coffee in Puerto Rico. We drink coffee all day.
That's the translation.
That's what it says.
What does it say in Spanish?
I'm on my name. I'm on my name in Puerto Rico. Cafe. Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So coffee, Puerto Rico. It makes no sense. And so a Spanish speaking person would say to me, why you got them saying that? That doesn't make sense. The girls didn't want to say it. It didn't make sense, but it sounded good. I said, Americans not going to understand all that. We play reggae. We don't know what they saying. It just sounds good. As my father would say, it tickles the ear. It just sounded good.
Tickled the ear.
So I did have an acapella for that, that break, and it worked. And so I guess the finishing touch that I did. So this is going back to a time where we playing records, right? Playing vinyl.
Vinyl. For
we
those
had test press.
Somebody watching this, they have no idea. They grew up in the digital MP3 era.
This is a record. So we had records. So we would order records, but we get a test press, right? So
remember that?
Midway through the process, so you're sending your DAT tape off to a company. Yep. They're pressing up vinyl. They send you some samples. Here's how it's going to sound. If you want to make any changes, it's the last time. How you like it? You get 5, and we would give them to the most prominent DJs to get a buzz going for the record. Yep. But it's a white label record. There's nothing on it. Yep. So what we did,
you had to write on there.
Yeah, you had to write on there. What we did. So I had another record on the other side that was called Don't Front. Right? So I got Don't Front, give it up, face down, you know what's up. I thought DJs were going to play that off the top, which they did. On the flip side was Are You the Bomb? And I said, this record's going to take time to build. So what I had my assistant do was mislabel it. So she wrote Don't Front for the side that was Are You the Bomb, and Are You the Bomb for the side that was Don't Front. So I tricked people into playing it. So Reggie Reg was the first person to play Are You the Bomb on the radio.
Rest in peace to the Godfather.
Rest in peace, Reggie Reg. So he played it by mistake because he thought he was going to play Don't Front, but he ended up playing Are You the Bomb, and he couldn't cut it because he was already playing.
It wasn't no hot cues back then.
No. So as the record is playing, and the phone lines lit up after he played it, and the record just blew from there. But Reggie Reg played the record first. And
hey, give Reggie Reg a round of applause. Rest in peace to the Godfather.
Definitely.
And then Are You the Bomb takes off.
Are You the Bomb takes off.
Goes crazy.
Are You the Bomb goes crazy. Now here's what another thing that happened. I was supposed to record a record with Miss Tony at the same time.
Rest in peace, Big Tony.
Tony felt like the track that I gave to Fo for Are You the Bomb should have been his song. Right?
I can hear that.
So I said, cool, I'm going to get you on the remix, right? So what we call Blow Up Girl, right? When I say 1, 2, 3, break it down. You go, see me, you still love me, that part. Okay, that's not Miss Tony singing that. That's Fo imitating Miss Tony.
Wow.
Yes. Tony was supposed to sing it. Tony's not was mad at me, right? And so folks said, "What? Look, I can sound like Tony. You can't sound like Tony." So he does it. He does it. Yeah.
If you love me.
So I said, do it exactly like that.
Like a pony.
Right.
Wow. All these years I thought that was Big Tony.
Most people did. And so we won. So then Tony's even more mad after that. Right? Because he said, I would have sang it. But it was just one of those things. But Fo did it in the vein of Tony. But Tony would perform that record like he did.
I feel like I played that record before at some club.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Got on the mic and did it.
100%. 100%.
That's mine.
Yes. Yeah, he definitely did that. So that happened. But yeah, that record went crazy. And we shot a video for that. Chris Robinson, who's from Baltimore.
Come on, I know Chris.
But Chris Robinson, big time movie director now. Mm-hmm. Chris Robinson also shot Duty Brown video as well.
I know.
I'm just for the people that don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You good.
Yeah, but yeah. So he shot that video. So it was just crazy. That was a crazy time. But I always looked at things like, okay, what would an actual label do? And so video, we need to be able to perform the song. We need to have posters, we need to have flyers, we need to have all that kind of stuff.
You were marketing.
So that's how I looked at marketing, right?
You definitely were marketing, man. You just tuned in, of course, we're talking to D Diamond K. Now, as you mentioned, and if you don't want to touch him, you don't have to. You make it Are You the Bomb, and you said you and Fo kind of fell out over, I guess, money or contracts or something.
Yes.
Have y'all ever tried to rekindle?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So what happened is that, so we had that disagreement. And so even when we shot the video for Are You the Bomb, Fo and I were not even speaking.
Gotcha.
We were only talking through representatives, and it was kind of dumb. But behind the scenes, it was crazy. And we just agreed to just go our separate ways at that point. So Are You the Bomb dropped in 95. Mm-hmm. By 96, so we dropped the original version. I did a remix, all that kind of stuff. But what should have happened is that what I wanted to do was take the record on the road. So we got play in Philly, we got play in DC. But I wanted to really work the record nationwide,
which it could have been.
And so that's like the first check that I blew. Well, it's not the first check. That's the second. That's the second check I blew. The first check I blew was with Frank. But so it didn't work out. But I always felt like I can make another record, and another record always is gonna come. And so Hey You Knuckleheads came, and then we did other records. We did records with the Horsemen, did records with Lil Lucky, did records with Tap, Big Tony.
High Roller had a serious wave.
Yeah, serious wave. Yeah.
And you kind of keep mentioning it. So you signed with Frank Ski to be an artist or like what happened with Frank Ski? Because you keep saying he dropped you from the label.
Yeah. So I started as a rapper.
So this is before you were producing Diamond.
Yeah.
So let's go back there for a second.
Producing came because I thought my career was over.
So you signed to Frank Ski. You remember what year that was?
93.
So that's 93. This is before
my first record
came out.
Hey Girl, Where Your Boyfriend At?
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Hey Girl, Where Your Boyfriend At?
That's my first record. Hey Girl, Where Your Boyfriend At?
And that was on Frank Ski's.
I was a teenager. Yes, that was on Frank's label.
I remember Hey Girl, Where Your Boyfriend's At.
Yeah,
that was you.
That was a big record. That was a big record for me. But I thought I was a rapper, hip hop rapper, right? I did a club song working on my demo tape, and so it's like I need a love song. I need a up-tempo club song. I need, that kind of thing. And Hey Girl, Where Your Boyfriend At was that record. And recorded that record with my my partner's name is Rob. And so I said, I want to get this played in the club. We playing Yo-Yo Tribe, these kind of songs at that time. And I'm like, how do I get this? So he's like, we need to get the record to Frank Ski. Okay, we don't know Frank Ski. How do we get to Frank Ski? Frank Ski's on the radio. Like people would see Quick's on the radio. But how do I get to Quicksilva? So at this time in my life, we chasing girls, we trying to find girls, we playing Madden, and we making music and working. That's it. Right. And so Frank was on the radio 6 to 10. So we just listen to the radio, we playing Madden. When he say call a number, whatever, we just gonna call in. Right. But as you know, that's not how it works. Okay, so we would call, the phone just ringing, nobody answered the phone. Right. Eventually, after weeks of this trying to track him down to get him to answer the phone. One day he answers the phone by mistake.
And it's actually Frank.
And it's Frank Ski. And I'm telling, oh my God. So we got the phone on speaker. We would just 6 o'clock, we would call and just have it on speakerphone and tell somebody picked up the phone. And so it would be ringing for hours. And we're just playing. And then one day he picks up the phone.
V103.
Just like that. I'm like, oh, we grab the phone. Hello, yo, I got a song. It's called Hey Girl, Where Your Boyfriend At? You know, I want you to check it out. So he gave me the address to V103, which was on Ricerstown Road at that time.
All the way up
Ricerstown Road.
Yeah.
And I mailed him a copy of the tape. And a couple weeks later, he calls me back and he says, you know, he liked the song. He wanted me to come in and re-record the song in a real studio. Which we did, and we recorded a song in a studio called High Hill Studio, which he recorded at, which was the first time I was ever in a real studio.
Gotcha.
Everything else was in the basement kind of thing.
House.
Miss Tony was there, Reggie Reg was there, Stanley, Frank's best friend was there, who's on Doo Doo Brown, and Frank was there, and he had an engineer. We redid Hey Girl, Where Your Boyfriend At? We did background vocals on a remix to Pull Your Guns Out.
Mm-hmm.
And Reggie Reg had his first song, which is called Welcome to Baltimore. Right? So it's like go Reggie, go Reggie,
oh,
go Reggie.
I
He's
remember
shouting out
that.
all these clubs and the beat keeps changing. And so we did background vocals on that song.
I'm so glad you're on the podcast because I forgot about so many of them records.
my God.
I remember the Go Reggie.
Yes. Every time I used to see Reggie, I would always be like, go Reggie, go Reggie. Yeah. So we do that. We did that song. And so this is on, all of these songs came out on a record that Frank released called Frank Ski's Club Tracks Volume 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it was a vinyl and it was a cassette tape. Yeah. And so that was, part of that. Then we started doing shows. I would be the opening act for Miss Tony.
Mm-hmm.
So we would do shows and I would do Hey Girl, Where Your Boyfriend At? Do some crowd participation, and then Tony would come on and he would do, Pull Your Guns Out and
go crazy.
Right. It would go crazy. We did a show one time. This is when I realized how big go-go music was. We did a show one time on the Eastern Shore with Backyard Band.
But shout out to
And so I
Big
thought
G.
in Baltimore, we really getting a good response.
Like,
we got good,
popping.
Yeah, it's popping. But we on the Eastern Shore.
Which is mostly DC and PG County.
I didn't know that. Okay, so I didn't know that. But that's true. We did the show. And it was cool. They gave me a good response. They gave Tony a really good response. But when the Backyard Band came on, I ain't never seen people act like that before. Like they rushed the stage. It was crazy. I was just like, whoa, we got a lot of work to do. Like it was a really good response. But it was, so that's how it was. But Frank had a good mindset for things. So Frank was like
Frank Ski
would say, this is your price for performances. People have a request to perform. You have them call me, and whatever. That's the thing. And we did that. But sometimes people would reach out to me that knew me personally, and it'd be like, "Oh, Frank's charging this amount. Can you do it for this amount?" Right? And okay, so
you would do it.
I did it this particular time. But what was so bad about it is that. Can we say names on here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I have no rules.
Okay, so Scotty B and I, good friends at this time. Scotty says, look, a man's having this performance, whatever, do this, whatever the price. All right, cool. So it's less than the price that Frank had set
for you.
Yes. And Scotty's like, look, you're going to do it, yeah, whatever. So you do it. All right, cool. I didn't know that he was going to run commercials. I didn't know he was going to run commercials. What show? What show did you run the commercials on? Frank's show, of course. They ran the commercials on Frank's show. Now, mind you, Frank they'd already mentioned to him that they wanted me to do the show. Scotty's like, oh, are they charging that amount? I can get him to do it for less than that.
God damn you, Scotty.
But it's not Scotty's fault. It's my fault, right? It's my fault. But
that's my guy. I love Scotty.
Yeah, I love Scotty too. And so Frank, they run the commercials on Frank's show. After Frank had told them this is the price, and he didn't know nothing about it. And you playing the commercials, like, whatever. He calls me, cussed me out. right?
Like, motherfucker.
Yes,
like,
all of that.
Cuss.
Like he was like, don't you think that they called me first? Like I could have got you more money for that, but it's not even about the money. You don't trust me. You don't listen. You know, how can I take you in certain rooms if I can't get you to do this? And you had something on the table with Luke, and that's done, and I can't trust you. That you'll never work in this town again, kind of thing, and hung up. Right. So I thought my career was over. Okay, it just started. I only had Hey Girl Where Your Boyfriend At, right?
I've been out for 6 weeks, right?
Yeah, right. I'm apologizing. I'm this. I'm that. All that. He ain't want to hear none of that. And so this is 1993. And so I did another record. It didn't work. I signed with a label in Jersey. I thought it was gonna pop. The song didn't pop. So now I'm like, okay, I was a one-hit wonder. I'm over. So I went to Westview Mall. And so I met Kenny B while promoting Hey Girl Where Your Boyfriend At. Yeah. Kenny B was mixing in the Chamber. You remember the Chamber in Paradox?
Come on.
So he's mixing in the Chamber. I was going around to DJs, giving them my record and hoping that they would play it. Kenny played it. He liked it. He said, you need to come up the store. You know, bring some of these up the store, come up the store and introduce you to the crew. So one of the guys in the crew was DJ Equalizer. For those that remember Equalizer.
Come on now.
And Equalizer said, well, you know, what you doing? You know, why don't you work up here in the record store in Westview? So I started working in Westview. And a little while after that is when the issue happened with Frank dropping me from the label. So now I'm not a DJ. I'm not a producer. I'm just a rapper who had one record and now I'm dropped from the label. Right. So now I'm in this culture of DJs coming in the store. So I'm learning what DJs want, what songs they want, what they looking for. And I really got involved in that culture. So I used to carry Kenny's crates, right? Wow. Carry Kenny's crates in the party, set up the speakers, set up the microphone, the turntables, all that kind of stuff. And then slowly they would let me mix in the store and I started learning. So, but Kenny taught me how to blend and how to mix.
That's super dope. Shout out DJ Kenny B.
Yeah.
Give him a rank.
Definitely give Kenny a round. So that's how that started. So I'm in the store. So Equalizer, who I don't think gets enough credit.
That's him. His record was I got the rhythm.
So when you talk about I've heard people talk about the first club song. Can I go into
Absolutely.
that?
Go ahead, man.
So we go into the first club song.
Let me sit down. Quick. We talking about the first club song, right? So Diamond K, what do you think the first club record was? Baltimore Club song.
First, I'm going to debunk some things.
Go ahead.
All right. So we'll go back. We'll go back.
Sit up, y'all.
So some people say that the first record is I Got the Hole.
Get the Hole.
Get the Hole. I'm sorry.
DJ Spin.
Tommy Davis.
Tommy Davis.
Get the Hole. Which it is not. Okay, because it is a house record. Okay, it is all the elements. If you play that song right now, they're not going to say that's a club song. They're going to say that's a house song.
I'm going to stop you there. And we had Spin on the podcast. Yeah. They said Tommy Davis' name was on that record, but DJ Spin, he said that was his record, but somehow, I don't know if Tommy funded or something, but that's how Tommy's name got on it.
Yeah. That's true. And then, so it's on a compilation, on a house music compilation.
Gotcha.
They also have a version that's on Tommy Mix Records. I think he put up the money, like you said. But regardless, it is a house record.
So that's not the first Baltimore Club record.
It is not the first Baltimore Club record. What's so funny about Club and House, they're like DC and Baltimore, right?
Yeah,
they don't want to claim each other. They really related, but they don't want to claim each other. House music folks will say, "Oh, that's that club stuff. Get that stuff out of here." And club people will be like, "That's that house music stuff. Get that out of here," right? So you can't now come house music people
you go on the podcast
and claim that you know. So there's a lineage between house and club, which it is, and I will explain it. But that is not the first Baltimore Club record.
So I'm asking.
Neither is North Avenue. North Avenue, which I love, which is it's a hip house record. That's not the first.
So the North Avenue is not, and that's Kevin Lyles and
Newmarks, which I love Newmarks. So that's 89. The other record that we're talking about, Get the Hole, 88. Okay, that's not club. That's house. First of all, now we got to go into how club music came about.
Come on.
Okay, so we're playing house records. So DJs at the time were playing house records. We're playing Chicago house records. Yes. Most people think Follow Me is a Chicago house record.
That's not a Baltimore record.
It's not a Baltimore Club record.
They think Percolator and Follow
Percolator.
Me. These are not Baltimore Club records, people.
That's not. These are house records. And house records. So just like Get the Hole, it goes with that. Yo-Yo Tribe. That's a Chicago house record. And so we were playing these songs, and what started happening is that we would play some European imports, a little bit of Strictly Rhythm, which is out of New York. We would play a little bit of Two Live Crew, Miami bass, and mixing it a little bit. So, but what started happening is after a while, we constantly want new records. The records weren't coming out fast enough. So then DJs here started to make things that were Baltimore centric, chants that you were hearing in the club. Put that on a record, right? Miss Tony did a lot of those. Other DJs were having break beats, right? Like you take the Doo Doo Brown break, right? It's just the beginning of the record. Frank looped it and then did a song over it.
Yes.
And so DJ Equalizer would do the same thing. We would loop certain parts because we would have to spin it back. Now we can just sample it and just hit the button. But back then, you had to run the record and then run the next record. And if you have DJs, if you have the Doo Doo Brown record, which is a Two Live Crew record, you got to have two of them because otherwise it's going to get into the song. The beginning break comes, and then there's a porn scene where the girls say, "Yeah, right." So you loop the record before it gets to that part. And that's how you come up with Doo Doo Brown, which is the first Baltimore Club record.
So you would say that Frank Ski Doo Doo Brown is the first Baltimore
1991,
Club
yes.
No, that's your law.
That is law because now, number 2, right behind it, same year, about a month later, is I Got the Rhythm / Much Too Much, which is DJ Equalizer and Scotty B. Those are the records.
So give it a round.
Those are the records. Anything other than that, they making excuses.
Now they're gonna argue this in the comments.
I know they are
for a month,
and that's fine. But my thing is this.
This has got the comment section. I feel like it was beefing for a minute.
Your ears don't lie to you. Go and listen. Spin is one of the best DJs ever. And he's a super cool guy. I had the chance to meet him many times, and on the turntables, he is one of the best. He's one of the best. However, we talk about house music and club music, right? And so, what's the song? I Heard You Say. You know that record?
I Heard You Say. Hey.
Yeah. If they come and tell you that's a Baltimore Club record, you're gonna be like, what?
No, it's not.
It's not. Get the Hole is a record like that.
It is.
It's a house record.
It is.
You know what I mean? So it's just, we're talking about certain types of drum patterns. House music is more melodic. Club music is stripped down. It's more raw, and they're different sounds. It's
so
like
funny hearing you say that Frank Ski Doo Doo Brown's first club record because, of course, when this moment went viral about the first club record, I saw Frank Ski just drop a popcorn emoji in the comments. People were arguing for 2 weeks. I see Frank Ski pop in with a popcorn emoji. I text immediately. Sounds like you want to go to WhoIs podcast.
And Frank's just gonna have fun. So Reggie Reg played Are You the Bomb on the radio first. Frank Ski got in a rotation.
Gotcha.
Right, and so Frank Ski called me. So after. We had our partner the ways. He still would let me in clubs and things, but he didn't really have a lot of words for me. After Are You the Bomb was done, then he helped me a lot. And also, he realized that I was different from a lot of other artists that he, had dealt with in the past.
So you and Frank are good now?
Absolutely, 100%. Frank is my mentor.
OG go.
OG,
he's the GOAT.
Yeah, Frank is the man. And
So, and I love this episode because we're kind of bouncing all around, but still staying within a 3 to 5 year radius, right?
Right.
What was the first record that you put out, like club wise?
That I put out?
Yeah, that you put out. Before You the Bomb, before You Knuckleheads,
I put out a breakbeat record, Diamond K's Big Ass Breaks.
Gotcha.
So I did 3 volumes of that. And then Are You the Bomb?
And then did you and Kenny B do some records together?
Yeah, me and Kenny did a lot of records together. But You Don't Want None is one of those records. We did a lot. We did a lot of records. Pages Blowing Up. Me and Kenny did a lot of records together.
I know that's Kenny on It's Hot This Motherfucker? That's not you and him? Who's that? Who produced that with I thought that was you.
Patrick. DJ Patrick. DJ Patrick.
Another person I didn't know who is podcast.
Absolutely. DJ Patrick.
He got some history.
DJ Patrick is the man. Yeah.
He got some history. So now Diamond K is putting out records. Diamond K is popping. And I'm just once again, this is a funny part of the history of Quicksilva and Diamond K. So now, let's speed past for a little bit and
Okay.
we'll kind of bounce around. But now I know Diamond K, we know each other now.
Because we working Saturday nights
Together at
Yeah.
Trilogies. And I'm playing your records at this point. So I'm playing Hey You Knuckleheads. I'm playing Are You the Bomb. You working at Westview. I'm working at, I first started at Monument Street in the city. Then I ended up going to Mondawmin. So now we have a relationship. We know each other. But eventually I get to a club called Hammerjacks on Sundays. 2002 to be.
So this is the second
Hammerjacks.
iteration of Hammerjacks.
Right,
Yes.
not the original Hammerjacks,
Yes.
but Raven Stadium
Yes.
now.
But this is crazy.
And I owe Diamond K and DJ Kenny B a lot of how I became successful over the years. Because they say he who finds a good woman finds peace, and they find happiness, and they build a kingdom. Something like that in the Bible. I can't
something
quote
like
it,
that.
but it's somewhere. Y'all know where I'm going with this.
Like he who finds a wife finds a good thing,
Finds a
kind of
good
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. That's in Luke chapter 6. Verse 1 through 3.
Okay.
I just made that part
clear.
up. I made that part up. Somebody go watch it.
I was gonna say,
wow. Man, that's yo, but it's funny because he clapped for it.
Right.
Luke chapter 6. Well, I'm laughing.
It sounded good.
Somebody go watch it.
Confidence can win over,
Luke
right?
chapter 6, verse 1 through 3. This ain't nothing but quick. But I'm DJing one Sunday at Hammerjacks. Y'all remember Hammerjacks on Sunday? That's when X1057 came in the market. It was a big deal.
Definitely.
Big deal.
That was a live broadcast.
Live broadcast, 3,000-4,000 people every single Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm DJing at Hammerjacks, and Diamond K and Kenny B were there. Were y'all mixing with me there? I can't remember. Y'all mixing with me there.
Yeah.
Got you. So who mixed? Were you mix sometimes and Kenny? So y'all would alternate. So that's exactly what. So this little young girl would ride to the club with Diamond K because she was his neighbor.
Right.
Which I didn't know.
Right.
So this little young girl's riding to the club with Diamond K. And Diamond K, he's mixing one week. And right after I'm ready to get on, Diamond like, yo, I think my homegirl is feeling you. I'm like, whatever, I don't pay no mind. The following week, Kenny B's opened up for me, but y'all always were all day together. So Kenny's like, yo, Diamond tell you? I'm like, Diamond, he's like, yo, shorty trying to get with you. So I'm like, yo, who is this shorty that y'all both kind of pushing up on me? And Diamond like, it was her right there. I peek over there. It's this little fine little young thing. Big old butt. Looking all cute. Got this little booty shorts on. And I'm playing, I can remember the record I was playing. I'm playing, back it up, back that thing
That's
up.
Rod Lee.
Back that thing up.
Yeah.
And she doing this little pop it back that thing up. And I look and I said, damn, who's that? No, he says, y'all, that's my neighbor Ashley.
Yeah.
Everybody know Ashley Silver now, who's Quicksilver's wife.
Right.
But nobody probably knew if it was not for Diamond K and Kenny B, I probably never would have met my wife.
You know that I didn't think about it like that, but that's probably right. And so, how you were kind of nonchalant is this is a time. I mean, so with DJs,
I'm popping.
We stars, right? So he's like a girl. Like I don't need you to introduce me to no girl. You know what I mean?
I'm
like
Quicksilva.
right. So it was obviously you had a lot of girls that would like you, and and we had that right, but. She did kind of, I was just kind of like, what do you want me to say something to him for? Okay, it's just like, because she asked, I said, okay, so she definitely like a sister to me. She, I grew up on Bernice, and she grew up on Rosedale.
Yeah.
So we, I could throw a football over to her house.
Trust me, she told me this story.
Yeah. So Ashley was somebody who could come in my house, go in the refrigerator, which she had done many times, but could go in the house, go in my refrigerator, make food, we cool like that. And so, but we come to the club and she would come with us, record store, she would work in there, all kind of stuff. But she did like you, and I did. If it was anybody else other than Ashley, I wouldn't have said, you gotta say it to yourself to him. But because it was her, I said, I know he's gonna like her. It's impossible. He's gonna like her.
A little fat butt. Thanks, Nick. Hey, boo. But I'm gonna tell you,
y'all click.
I'm gonna tell you what's funny though. You came out with, I don't know if it was a mixtape or something, and I actually still, I with my phone. I still got the picture in my phone. And I showed it to Ashley one day, and she was so mad at me. You better ever post that. You came out with
did you?
No, I didn't. I did not.
Right.
Did y'all know this guy came out with a mixtape, and my wife went through a little phase where she was a video of Vixen.
Yeah.
And my wife is sitting on your lap in this picture. You got to explain this time. I wouldn't want to ask you this. I want to ask you for 30 years.
Oh my God.
Why is my wife sitting on Diamond K's lap?
Okay,
Somebody
so
clip this one part up, by the way.
All right, so let me say this. Okay, all of
my legs are crossed.
my marketing,
my legs, I get nervous.
All my marketing came from the model of Frank Ski. Okay, and so let me just say that first. All right, so this was a photo shoot we did in DC. Ashley is one of the models. There are other girls that's there as well, and the camera. It wasn't my idea. So there are other photos that we took, different photos.
Right, I'm listening.
But the camera person had Ashley, sit there
on your lap
or on my lap.
But
it was, it's just we're acting.
Right.
It was,
yeah.
But y'all weren't married. Okay, so let's keep it. This is a long time ago. Y'all wasn't married at this point.
I could have one day.
Right. Yeah. Well, and you did. Could have and did. Could have and did. Yeah, but this is a lot. So she was a model on the set.
She had a model career.
Yeah.
So just I'm not mad at you.
I'm glad because I don't want no trouble.
That was a way before we were married.
Yes.
But I just found that so fun. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how I found it.
I don't know either.
I feel like somebody sent it to me like, yo, is this your wife?
Yes.
I'm like, oh shit, that is my wife. What the fuck is he doing sitting on Diamond K lap? Baby! She's like, yes, we gotta talk.
We have never talked about this before.
I know we haven't. Like, I've been saving the WhoIs podcast. This is a WhoIs exclusive.
Wow.
And this way, Ashley will be so mad at me.
Yeah, she is. Definitely.
I'm sorry, baby.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Daddy loves you. But once again, you just tuned it in. This is the WhoIs podcast with Diamond K. You've done so much. High Roller Records, High Roller Films. You now have your own radio show, podcast show.
Yeah.
Like, where do you feel like you thrive the most at with all you've done from radio to TV to everything? Like you really, before you said you really, I'm gonna give you flowers before we really say this. You're one of the only people that I know over the last 3 decades that has been consistently doing everything.
Yeah.
Consistently, you've been in the music business, in the digital space, in the podcast space, in the radio space. And what I admire the most, you've always done it your way on your own platforms. Yeah. So when everybody else would want to sound with Unruly, you said, "No, I'm good. I'll make my own label."
Right.
When everybody else wanted to be on whatever radio station, you said, "Nah, I'll make an online station for myself."
Right.
When everybody wanted to do anything, like you were always the person who's like, "I'm gonna do everything everybody else doing, but I'm gonna put my own money up and do it myself." Yeah. Like that's commendable, man. Give my man Diamond K his flowers. Because I feel like y'all don't give this man enough credit and props for the things that you've created and the things that you're still doing. But where do you feel like you thrive the most at?
It depends because I like to do a lot of different things. If I wasn't doing music or entertainment, I would probably be an attorney. But I think that because I have so many different interests, for me it always came back to you got to do it yourself. So as a rapper, before I signed with Frank, I would send my demo tapes out to record companies. And they would send back like this generic, no unsolicited demos kind of thing, right? And then I started to see that I'm gonna have to do it myself. You know what I mean? And so I had a DJ. Like as a rapper, I had a DJ, and then he kind of wasn't feeling the direction. So then I wanted to start DJing.
Gotcha.
And so it's always like that. I reached out to Kelson once many years ago. He probably ain't gonna remember this.
Is this a good story?
It's a good story.
All right.
And so I reached out to Kelson. Well, it depends on how you look at it. Good story. I would say it's a good story. Reached out to Kelson. Reached out to Kelson. Pitched my show. And Kelson said, it sounds good, but you should probably do that yourself because it's no room, right? There's not a slot. I said, okay, you're right. And so, no, and we was good. You know, we had a good relationship anyway. And so I was glad that he was honest with me. He said, look, I'm not going to blow no smoke. It's not that I don't want to. It's just not a slot. You know what I mean? You should probably do that yourself. And so this was 2007, right? And that's when I started my podcast. Nice. Right. So I was like, okay, so fine, then I'll do that. And so, you know, so it's always been like that. I was watching the BET Awards and I said, Baltimore needs something like this. So that's when I did the Baltimore Music Awards. Mm-hmm. Right. And so it's always like, we need to do it ourselves because a lot of times people will, do things. I think that the biggest problem we've had with Baltimore artists, right, with the exception of, let's say, Drew Hill, with the exception of Mario, when we've had Baltimore artists that've gone other places and signed with other labels, right? They always screw them up, right? And because we're different, and Baltimore is a unique place, and so I think that somebody has to understand it, and we understand us the best, and so that's why I like to do things myself.
Man, I give you another round of applause. Like you say, you know, Diamond K is like I don't feel like, and I don't know if you feel this way. I don't feel like enough people give you your flowers. And I say that to say, like, not that anybody hates on you or anything like that, but when people mention some of the greats or some of the goats in the city, they mention Frank Ski, they mention Quicksilva. I'm like, Diamond K, like
Raleigh.
They mention Raleigh when we're talking to music.
Absolutely.
Like it's certain names that people name. And I'm like, Diamond K is in that conversation. Like, why do you feel like you haven't been in that conversation? If somebody said, give me the Mount Rushmore, no one's going to say Diamond K.
That's true. They're not.
But why do you think that?
I think
when you've been more consistent than
a lot,
most.
Yeah. I think it's a gift and a curse, right? Because I'm not in the cliques, that's why. But that's why I've been able to have longevity, because I'm not in the cliques. But so it's good and it's bad. So I've never been in the cliques. And so I'm not in the in crowd, right? And so because of that, I think, and then also I don't beat my chest a lot, right? I don't say like, I did this, I did that, because I'm not in my feelings about that. I know what I've done, and I know people that know what I've done, and people can Google or do their research and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I'm comfortable, and I live by this. Everything's going to work out. Facts. So everything works out. So I don't have to, you know, I'm not, a lot of times people won't, and artists, whatever, can always reach out to me. I can give advice. I can help with things. But a lot of times people don't because they think, I guess he's going to, you know, treat me a certain way, or he's cocky, or he's this or he's that. But people can always reach out to me. I have no problem helping people, collaborating. I think that the biggest hindrance that we've had with Baltimore club music is the lack of unity.
Facts.
We competed a lot. So, you know, Patrick and Unruly and
you yourself,
me, you know, my crew and Riley, Techniques and Class, everybody competed, but it made the music better. Because I would hear their songs. I'm like, oh, I got to go back to the lab. What? He dropped this? I got to drop something else. And, you know, but we had that competition, but if we could work, but everybody had something that they were really good at. Right. And if we all had kind of worked together on and pushing different things, we could have gone even further with stuff. And so more unity. Speaking
of collaboration, and this just came to my mind. You notice whenever I do, like, I don't even call these interviews. The WhoIs podcast is just simply me sitting here having conversations with dope DJs, dope producers, radio personalities that I know, just to let them tell their story. But I don't come with a script or anything, because as I'm listening to people talk, certain things pop in my head, and you use the word collaboration. Yeah. And I remember recently, there was a little friction with you and, was it Take over
Cobain?
Yeah, was Take Cobain over? Was that Hey You Knuckleheads?
It was Take Cobain. Wow. Okay.
So what happened? So before you answer, and once again,
you do research. I didn't know you would do research.
I'm kind of good at this. Yeah. But seriously, like, you know, Take Cobain, he's family. Everybody know him from his record Bankrolls. But then he comes out with, for record, I believe he remade Hey You Knuckleheads.
Yes, he did.
I heard it, saw it online. I thought it was just dope. But then I don't know if I saw you post or somebody, but I feel like you posted
I did.
something like, okay, stop, no, you ain't talk to me, I ain't get paid, or something. What happened with the whole Take Cobain and Diamond K with the Hey You Knuckleheads remix, I guess you want to call it? Or
Yeah. So
and this is a very honest
not
podcast.
know we were going to talk about this. Okay.
Very honest podcast.
Yeah, that was all good. Yeah, so I saw what you saw. And a lot of times, people will want to do remakes or different things, and it will reach out. Like Drake has reached out, done some work with him, and different people reach out. But this
He said that real casually, by the way.
Sorry about that. Yeah,
I was sitting at home one day. Drake hit me, wanted to remix.
Yeah,
keep going.
yeah. But I saw this thing, whatever, and before I could even formulate what I wanted to say, DJ Mickey hit me up like, "Yo, you want to let this slide?" Kind of
put that battery in your back.
Yeah, batteries in my back, and
Energizer.
So, yeah, it was batteries in my back, and so it was that. And Take Cobain is a cool person. He's a great artist. I've had him. He's been to my studio before. He's cool. It wasn't so. It was more so like I felt like, damn, he could have reached out to me. You know what I mean? And so I did lash out. But it's cool. And
did y'all ever talk or work it out? Or
Scotty, kind of try to mediate things or whatever. So I mean, it's no beef. It's no beef. It's one of those things, but it's no problem.
So the record never came out. I'm guessing he never did anything in the record. Right. Shut the record down, Diamond. Come on.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that, but it's just that. Another thing that I learned from Frank is your paperwork has to be in order.
Agree.
You know what I mean? And so
business is business.
Yes. So my thing is my paperwork is in order, and so we can always have a conversation. Everything can be worked out.
So it's still to this point. If not myself, but if someone set up a sit down and y'all work something out, he potentially can do something with that record.
Absolutely. Everything can be worked out. But
call me Chris Sabian. You ever watch Negotiator?
Yes.
My new name is not Quicksilva, it's Chris Sabian.
My thing is everything is about respect. Yeah, you know what I mean? And so now at the same time, I don't want to be a hypocrite, right? So Baltimore Club music is built on unlicensed samples. Yes. Right? But if we have a record with original vocals, right? Now, we're not talking about unlicensed sample. We're talking about you stole this composition, right? That's something totally different, right? We sampled Method Man, or we sampled Busta Rhymes. Okay, so, we just like a blimp on the map. But if we all in the same city, and even though he's Atlanta, whatever, if we in the same city, you can reach out, right? Like I said, he's been to the studio before, and anything, So it's just like, let's reach out and but don't, go somewhere and then my thing is this sound, I don't want somebody to go to another city and try to take our sound and then try to act like, you the person. Right. You could be one of the people, you can be part of it, but you ain't the person. You know what I'm saying?
Like my daughter, she's like, "Hey Dad, I'm the birthday." Right. You the person. Right. I like talking that. To YN right now.
I like that. I like that. But yeah.
Man, so I'm glad we got that out the way. What I hated was, I know you and I know him. And I feel like it started off about the song, and then the next 24 hours.
It turned somewhere.
It got personal.
It turned something.
You old, you young. Yeah. Fuck you. Yeah. I'm like, and then, so we don't need this.
Different people had their views on it. Some people that were supportive of his perspective were coming to me like, yo, he's bringing light to it or this and that. I mean, like, what are you talking about?
I'm glad it blew over, and I'm glad everything's cool, because at the end of the day, both of y'all, all of us from Baltimore. No matter where we go, definitely. I'm based out of DC, but guess what? Baltimore is still home. Right. Baltimore is still home for a lot of us. What are you working on right now? Like, what is Diamond K doing right now?
So I don't know when this is going to air, but I'm getting ready to drop a new song that I did with Mighty Mark.
Nice. So that Mighty Mark.
Yeah. So that's the first. I didn't even talk about it.
This is the Quicksilva who is exclusive.
Yeah. So we great drop a record called "Do That Thing," and so that is getting ready to drop. I'm heavily into politics.
And I was going to ask you, when did you get so heavily into politics? I feel like I know Diamond K as DJ first, then I know Diamond K as producer, then I know Diamond K as Are You the Bomb and Hey You Knuckleheads. And one day I'm online scrolling on Instagram or TikTok, and I see Diamond K. So, guys, today in politics, we're not feeling what's happening with the Democrats and the Republic. I'm like, what does Diamond talk about? Because I feel like Diamond K, like, when we get interested in politics, like, when did this political analyst come about?
What's the answer to that? I would say like in the last 10 years. I've always followed politics. I've always studied U.S. history. I've always studied government. It just never came up in my music conversations.
Right.
It was never a point where as though I could bring it up. I also felt like, the fellas would make fun of that, right? So I definitely didn't.
Cool.
It definitely wasn't cool. I didn't bring it up.
Right.
But for me, music has ebbs and flows, and I have times when I've been inspired, and then times where I'm just like, okay, I'm over that. And it was one of those periods where I felt like I was over that, and I just said, okay, I'm gonna, kind of explore this side, and talk politics and talk to politicians and talk about government. And then I started to realize that a lot of the folks that we have in the clubs didn't vote, wasn't involved in it, and
wasn't even registered.
Didn't think about it. And then it dawned on me that I have this bridge between the clubs and folks that are involved in that side, and then the politics side, and how important we would talk about clubs, and you talk about zoning for clubs, or a club getting closed, or a liquor license. That's politics.
Yeah.
And so many times we would argue it's not enough clubs in the city. You remember a time when we had a lot of clubs.
We had 10 on each street.
Right. And now we have none.
Yeah.
And they zoned us out of downtown for different reasons. And if you remember, to me, two key points of music in this city that are gone that affected it. Drew Hill Park. We used to be at Drew Hill Park on Sunday.
Drew on Sundays.
Right. And they passed this ordinance about, what did they call it? No cruising. Right. So back in the day, after a club let out, we would just be driving around.
It was called the let out.
Right.
Right.
So
the let out was more
that's
than
better
the
than the
club.
club. Right. It's better than the club.
I ain't going out till 1 a.m. to catch the let out.
Exactly. So sometimes if you didn't feel like spending money, or it's late,
right,
you would just go to the let out
at 2 a.m. and you out from 2 to 5.
Yes. So you're driving around, you're listening to music, you're jumping out of cars, you're talking to girls, you're talking to guys, whatever you're doing. And that was part of it. You're hearing music, you're meeting people. But what happened is that the city shut that down, and they created this no cruising. Like, you couldn't spin the block. We used to just keep spinning the block. You couldn't spin the block more than once. And if you did that, you would get a ticket. Different things like that. It's crazy. Politics, right? That's all politics. And so we wasn't hurting nobody. It's, we just meeting people and whatever. But it's different things like that. Whereas though our groups, our constituents, our club goers weren't paying attention. And so I definitely encourage people to vote. Well, whoever you vote for, whatever side,
do your research, do your own due diligence.
You need to participate.
Right.
You look at what's happening now. Well, back in the day, they used to say, don't matter who's in office. It's going to be the same thing. It is not true, and you can see the evidence of that right now.
That guy in the White House is wilding. And I say,
if we had Kamala, it wouldn't be this type of wild.
And she said this. She said, I'm telling you now.
Hillary wouldn't have been this type.
This is what it's going to look like. So all you Trumpers out say, I don't care about comment section.
Yeah.
I wonder, are any of them going to ever come out publicly and be like, you know what? I was wrong. This nigga ain't it.
They're not going to do it. Right. They're not going to do it. Right. They're not going to do it. He has fucked shit up. Yeah.
Only people who have been doing good are the rich billionaires. Not even the millionaires.
Set up. The billionaires.
Millionaires are now worth 100,000 because now he's made sure all his people are now billionaires and not trillionaires. So I don't even want to talk politics. That's what his podcast is about. But one question I always love to ask, and I've been thinking, which way I want to go with Diamond K, because you can go producer or DJ.
Yep.
But for this,
so both.
I'm gonna do both. Let's do both. Let's do both.
I'm both.
So let's start with DJs. And you already know the question I'm asking. This is another one that makes people lose friends. People come on the podcast and they be like, "Oh my God, people ain't speaking because I didn't mention them." So think for your answer, because somebody gonna be mad.
Okay.
If I had to ask Diamond K, the Mount Rushmore of DJs who've had the biggest impact in Baltimore. Who are the top 4 that you say these 4 have had the biggest impact in Baltimore history ever? Mount Rushmore. DJs.
So these are impact to the city, not impact to me personally.
Yeah.
Impact to the city.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So number 1, I gotta say is Frank Ski.
I feel like that's everybody.
I gotta say Frank Ski. I saw Frank Ski in Atlanta at Club Visions, right? So let's go back to a time when we had pioneers,
Visions and Kayas.
CDs, right? But I'm talking about this. What I'm talking about is specifically at Visions. Okay, so we have 2 CD mixers, right? So not the controller, not turntables, 2 CD mixers. And I saw Frank rock a 90-minute set only using 1 deck, right?
And talking.
I had never seen him do it like that. And so I've seen him mix in Baltimore many times, but he mixed different there. And so he's talking. So when I say talking, I'm just like, where are my ladies? Such and do this, such and such. He drop a record. And then fellas, that. And he talked through, and I've seen a lot of, I've seen you do it. Jay Claxton does this really well. Frank does it. A lot of people I've seen do it. But it was amazing to me because it's like it wasn't that he was mixing really. He used his personality and he's told a story with the records. I just never seen that like that. And he does that on a high level.
So that's your 1.
Yeah, so that's my number 1. DJ Booby is my number 2. And so in my early stages, I saw Booby. Now, so Booby is selling, club mixes,
$1 million a day,
sex tracks, everything. And then he's driving around in this Sterling, delivering them. And people, he pulled up at my school at Emerson, and he pulled up, and everybody just ran to the car. Like, I'm talking about like he was gone. Like, it's just like he's like the first superstar that I saw. And girls run up to his car. He's selling tapes out the window. It was crazy. But aside from that, he has a skill at a high level. And so we got certain people, you, Booby, Mike Crosby, Big L, where they do the scratch so Kenny does like a do it scratch, right? You guys I just named can do like a kind of like a triple, and it's just and Booby was the first person I saw that could really do that.
Same here.
And it's just like next level. And even now, when I see him now, still the same energy, still animated. The same. Yeah, super animated. He hit me up a couple months ago. Like, you got any video of me mixing? Absolutely, I do, because we didn't really talk about it, but I also do video and videography.
You do everything. I keep saying you Mr. One-Stop Shop.
Because my thing is that I can't hire somebody to do something if I don't know how to do it. How do I know whether they're doing it good? I got footage.
I need some videos now. Think about it.
But Booby hit me up, and so a lot of these folks that became my peers, I was fans of as well, right? So a fan of Frank, a fan of Booby. And so, Booby does it on a high level. He influenced a lot of DJs with his style. He was the first person I saw mixing slow jams with club records. You know what I mean? And just stuff like that. So definitely him. So you say impact.
You got 2 more.
2 more. I gotta say, so this is just DJs. I'm gonna say Kenny K. Because I want to justify everything I'm saying, because I know people
are going to say
Kenny K is he's a man of few words. I'll say that. He doesn't talk.
Rarely talks ever. When he was on the WhoIs podcast, everybody couldn't believe I made him talk.
Yeah, it's just like I've sat like at parties with Kenny for hours, and like 3 sentences maybe you said, and that's it. I mean, he doesn't talk a lot, but skill level, he's on a high level of skill and very innovative. And so I definitely have him on my list. And then so this is folks that influence the city DJing.
Have you on that? This is your list.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know.
You got one slot left.
I don't know who's the. I don't know. Now, see, I don't really know how to answer this, because there's so many names that's popping.
What's the first name that comes to your left? I feel like you want to say a name, but you don't know if you want to say that name because you think of the second or third name after it. What's that first name you thinking of?
I'm gonna say Nelly Nell.
Nice.
And so the reason why I say Nelly Nell is because all the people that I named, other DJs imitate.
Yes.
So all of those folks, people imitate Frank, people imitate Booby. I definitely feel as though people imitate Kenny K and Nelly Nell. So just when we talk about that R&B vocals with hip hop beats kind of thing, he definitely put a stamp on that.
Definitely one of the goats.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, and then I got so many honorable mentions. So,
don't worry about it.
Yeah, we can do it. We can do all that. That's my four. That's my Mount Rushmore.
Just know the honorable mentions are going to text you.
Yeah,
and
that's
be in the chat.
Listen,
Diamond, my nigga, really not.
Yeah,
it gets personal. Don't worry.
But I'm good.
All right, and then in closing, the last one, the Mount Rushmore of Baltimore Club music producers.
Wow. Okay. So, Dookie Man, is on there. I met Dookie Man in the early 90s. We dated sisters.
Gotcha.
So I met him in passing, going to the bathroom, and him coming from the bathroom from his girl's bedroom, and I was coming from my.
Yeah, I'm glad I listen and hear, because how you started, like, I met Dookie Man, we dated.
Sisters.
But you said sisters, like, we dated sisters. I'm like, oh
yes,
shit.
Right.
Damn, Diamond.
Jesus.
I didn't even know.
No. Yeah. So we dated sisters.
Mm-hmm.
He had a record out at this time. And so this is in the early days, but with DJ Precise.
Yep.
And so that record is early, so that was like 92. Yeah. So anyway, but Dookie Man is definitely. I did a lot of work with Dookie Man.
So this is no order, or is that your number one?
This is I can't put it in no order.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean
that's one slot.
That's one slot.
You got three more.
My favorite record that I ever did, I thought you was gonna ask me that, which is Put Your Leg Up. Go Girl, Put Your Leg is my favorite record.
That's the first record that you made.
That I did. It's my favorite record that I did, but Dookie Man produced that record. But anyway, Dookie Man.
Like this? I'm sorry.
Right. Dookie Man. Griffin Boo Man, I really put
Doo-Doo Kids.
As a Doo-Doo Kids, right. So Griffin Boo Man, Rod Lee.
One last one.
Yeah. Okay. So the last one is always tough. But the last one I'm going to say is DJ Equalizer. Now here's why I say that.
When they making noise,
he's saying that because
I've never heard him make noise before.
No, I can defend that. Listen, and I will say this.
What the fuck? What was that?
Yeah, why'd you say that?
Did you hear that?
I heard it.
The whole room was like,
yeah.
What the fuck was that?
That's because here's what we say. We say Mount Rushmore. Yes. So when people say Mount Rushmore,
so you said Dookie, Doo-Doo Kids, Rod Lee, Equalizer.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. Why Equalizer? Why is he on your top 4 of all times?
Yeah.
Why?
Now, personally, I don't get along with Equalizer. Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, let that record show.
Gotcha. So
we've had a lot of back and forth.
Gotcha.
He's a MAGA supporter. Mm-hmm. He's a Trump supporter.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Well, I'm telling you, he is. Right. I'm telling you, he is. But I think that when we talk about from a foundational level, a lot of the records that became hits, he released a lot. And I think that from the foundational point, I don't think he's the best producer ever, but I think that his influence and impact from a foundational perspective should be recognized. And I think that that's how you get on Mount Rushmore. So if you look at the presidents that are on Mount Rushmore,
I get it.
That's how I look at it. Right?
You ain't got to explain yourself, but just know you're gonna have some explaining to do. Because them comments, I can already see it.
But I'll say I can make the separation between the person and their contribution.
Understood.
Which is why I still will play an R. Kelly record or a Diddy record. Personally, they did this. Professionally, they did this, right? Because I already said, from a political standpoint, I don't agree with Equalizer. We've had a lot of disagreements, but we had good times as well. But yeah, so that's why I say that. Yeah, but Rod Lee, I think is the best.
And who just said that? Was that Boo Man on last week that said that? I think everybody's kind of in agreement that Rod Lee is at the top of the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
it's been a toss up on the podcast. It's Rod Lee and Doo-Doo Kids.
It's not even close. Let me say this, something that I don't think I've ever said.
Another
about Rod Lee.
Quicksilva who is exclusive.
This is exclusive about Rod Lee. Rod Lee. So we're talking about that 96, that 96 era.
I remember like it was yesterday.
So I would say both of us, you and I, definitely had egos, and we talked. But I'm talking about you. 96, you was different.
Right now, I've humbled it down.
You was different.
96, you can't tell me shit.
Yes. So
I love it.
You would come in the club. You would come in the club like people carrying your stuff, like, you know what I mean? But sweat on my brow, you know, somebody like you was on that level, right? Sometimes
talk about how I came in the club.
You would come in the club, right? You would come on the stage, right? He's not carrying anything. People bringing his stuff in. They put it right there. Yeah, put it down. You would look at the club. Look around, you know what I mean, and then so you go look at the DJ. What did you playing? Okay, all right. What did you play?
Don't forget the girl.
Wipe this. You know what I mean? Kind of. You were at that level.
I was on King level.
Right. You was definitely on that level. Sometimes I would say Kenny like quick. What is? He's you know what I mean? So, but he's on that light skin shit, right? But
I can't believe this. No one's ever said this on the WhoIs podcast.
It's true. Okay,
that's true.
I'm saying this stuff.
True.
Okay,
it is true.
I would tell Kenny, I'm like, sometimes quick is just on another. Like if you come, and this is how it is. When you were coming from another event, you were almost unbearable.
I was.
If you weren't coming from another event, you was cool. But if your adrenaline level is high and then you come in hammerjacks, you already over here. I'm like, we need to open the roof. His head can't fit under the ceiling. It's too much.
I would make security make an entrance for me.
All of that.
I don't want nobody to touch me.
All of that.
They will make an entrance. And they go, who the fuck is coming through? And I will walk through, have my shades on, have my dreads back there.
Yes.
Put my head down, my hood on, walk in real slow. Come on, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was the guy.
Yes. So this is the time period I'm talking about.
So you hated me back then?
No, I never hated you. I never hated you. No.
I'm joking.
No. I just said, and people said I was a lot, but I said no. Quick, I would always say Quick is worse than me.
Quick is that. I was.
And in that mindset, Rod Lee calls me up, right? I don't know Rod Lee. I've had Hey Girl, Where Your Boyfriend At? I've had Are You the Bomb? We've had the remix. I've had Hey You Knuckleheads. Okay. And we had just released the Horsemen, We Boys, and Rod Lee calls me up, right? He hasn't released any records, and he calls me up. And so maybe he had one. I think he had the one.
Maybe Rolling or something.
Yes, exactly. Rolling. Exactly. He had Rolling, and it was cool. And I was like,
killing though.
I was like, yeah, he got a cool little record, right? So he calls me up, and he says, I got an idea for this song, and I want to get your artist on the song. My artist, right? And so he says, yeah, I want to get Big Rhea, the girl, Hey You Knuckleheads, I want to get her on this song. And I'm like, okay, what's the concept? Tell me the concept. He tells me the concept, and I'm like, nah,
that ain't it.
Nah. Right. And so it was cool. So I personally feel as though after that day, he ain't fuck with me like that. No. Okay. So
what was it? You remember the concept?
Oh, absolutely. It came out. The record came out. You played the record. The first time I heard the record played, you played it.
And what was the record?
Okay, so the record was It's My Pussy, I Can Do What I Want, I'm a Big Girl Now.
Oh wow. So that's supposed to be Big Rhea.
It's supposed to be Big Rhea. And I was like, nah.
It's my pussy, I can do what I want.
Yeah.
I'm a big girl now. Boom, boom.
But the record rocked. The record rocked. I felt like I didn't want her to do no pussy records. I didn't want to do that. I never even mentioned it to her. I just vetoed it. Like,
so this is the first time she's hearing it.
She didn't even know.
Oh, she can be mad.
She didn't
all
even
the
know.
money I can make off that record. Fucking diamond,
But so after the record came out, I never felt bad about it because I just didn't feel like, one, I felt like she wasn't an artist. I felt like we captured a moment, right? And so I just didn't, I never felt bad about it, but the record definitely worked, and there was other records, that had female voices. But I was like, just another female. He got another female, whatever. But nobody knows whose voice that is. It's not like she performed that record. It wasn't like that. It wasn't Hey You Knuckleheads.
Right.
It wasn't like, I didn't think it would. But I mean, looking back, I guess she could have done it. It wouldn't have really made a difference. But yeah. But I felt like he didn't. I felt like after that, everything was in your face.
Oh yeah, it was. And he went, and after that,
he went on a run.
He went on a run.
He went on a legendary run. He went on a legendary run. Then he started making
records that was just for him. Feel me, dance my pain away. I mean, he was unstoppable.
Yeah.
But no, I wanted to say, man, like. It's a privilege and honor because, like I said, we've known each other for a very long time. This is probably our first time really sitting down having like a full conversation.
Crazy. Which is crazy.
We've worked together, seen each other in passing. I see you at the event, you can see me at the event. We speak. How's Ashley and the kids? Always love, mutual, nothing. But we've never had like this real moment.
Yeah.
I think this is so dope because we could talk another 5 hours because we got 30 years of history, 30 plus years of history.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say, man, like, thank you for, your contribution to Baltimore club music. Thank you to your contribution to everything, because a lot of people are doing a lot of things that I believe Diamond K did first, but they just either didn't know.
Yeah.
Or knew and just didn't want to give you the credit for whatever selfish reason. That's a you problem, not us problem.
Yeah,
but like I want to give you your flowers, man, because you've done a lot and you're still doing a lot, and it's really difficult to be relevant for decades. A lot of people think of we came out in the 90s.
Right.
A lot of people had waves, what they call the waves, for 5 years, 10 years. And they don't DJ now, they don't produce now. They're not even in the business of anything that you're doing, from filming to anything. But now, 30 plus years later, Diamond K is still elevating at a level where most people want to be at one day. So that alone, I'm telling you, man to man, commendable. I'm proud of you, man. Keep winning. Keep winning. And keep building things that are generational, because you're building things that are yours. You're not working for somebody. You can now take this and it's willable to your kids, to your grandkids, to your family and friends. So like what you're doing, on behalf of the Who Is podcast, I want to say congratulations and keep up the amazing work. So
I appreciate that.
My guy in real life, man. Diamond K, man. Like, I pray somebody watches this and they're inspired. Or once, like kind of ending how we started, I asked, who is Diamond K? I'm praying somebody now who didn't know, or even if they knew who you were and knew of your music, now they have a better understanding of who you are, and a better appreciation.
I appreciate that, and I think that if somebody could take anything away from any of our conversation, is that don't feel boxed in. I wear a lot of different hats, and a lot of people want to do different things. And somebody may say, just focus on this. And you can, but sometimes it can expand to different things. And I think that everything that I am into is related, right? So we talk about music or making it, doing the vocals or filming it, or it's all relative and it's all related.
Hey, man, who is Diamond K, man? Thank you so much for joining today, man. We here, of course, every week, same time, same place. Make sure you like and subscribe, share this. And in closing, where can we follow you, support you, all that good stuff?
All social media, I'm at The Diamond K Show. My website, Radio On Fire or On Fire Broadcasting.
Hey, you've been informed, you've been entertained on the Who Is podcast. My name is Quicksilva. I'm back here next week, same time. Salute.